Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Industry Influencers. I'm so excited because I got Jenny James and Josh Wright from Legacy Studios in Lewisville. Legacy Studio Music, I should say.
Legacy Music Studio.
Legacy Music Studios.
You got it.
One of the examples, right?
Yes,
Legacy
yes,
Music.
yeah.
But the point is, they are really talented, both in music and in teaching, and they have a place in Old Town Lewisville, so you should check them out.
Yes.
But I wanted to bring them on the show today because they've done something kind of unique and something that people want to do. First of all, that's teaching in music. And second of all, having a facility to do that at, because not everybody can make the jump and it takes some steps and some trust and planning. But first and foremost, welcome to the show, you guys.
Thank you.
Glad
Thanks
to
for
have
having
y'all.
us. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your music backgrounds then.
So I started playing piano at the age of 7.
Okay.
Went on to play some French horn in middle school and high school. In college, I went to Baylor and studied education and music. Always played at churches. And then after teaching in the public school for a little bit, I became a stay-at-home mom and decided to start teaching piano lessons out of my house because that was just a great kind of job to have. And so I've been teaching piano for about 15 years.
Yeah, and you actually taught my brother, right?
Yeah,
A little
I've done
bro,
a little bit,
Tanner James.
I did not know that.
Yeah, the fun fact, right?
Yeah.
So, what about you, Josh?
So I'm a pastor's kid. So I was raised in church. I was raised in doing choirs and different praise bands, whatever you want to call it. So I've been singing since I was a little kid, but I didn't start really taking it seriously until I was about 13. So I took over 8 years of vocal training in different genres: pop, rock, jazz, gospel, R&B, you name it, I've done it, minus hardcore metal and rap. So
Yeah, those are like your, I will not do these.
those are like it's not that I won't do it, it's like I'm bad at those.
Okay.
So I'm bad at those. So yeah, no, I went to Bible college, Christ for the Nations Institute. I majored in their worship and technical arts major, and then different jobs that were not necessarily musically focused. Worked at a church, and then I worked in corporate, and now I'm over at Legacy Music Studio. I've been there for about a year now, teaching.
That's
and
awesome.
loved every moment of it.
Now you're doing it full time too, right?
Yes, currently doing it full time and
exciting.
making that my that my thing. So
That's so cool.
yeah.
Well, it's been kind of cool to see both of y'all's journeys, both individually and together. Not that y'all are together.
Just friends.
Just friends. You got a whole crew at Legacy Music,
Weird.
so just kidding. Anyways, I know it's fun to make people feel comfortable, right?
Still ain't fine.
Nope, we're not.
You can't make us
Nope.
uncomfortable.
All right. That's so funny. Well, basically, y'all have experience and y'all are talented when it comes down to it, and y'all are passionate about helping other people that share that passion.
Absolutely.
Which is super fantastic. Which kind of brings me to the next question is there's a lot of people out there that want to take that step to teach, specifically within the music field. And I think there's a little bit of a different take for both of you on this due to your seasons. And maybe just kind of start with you, Jenny, since you're kind of the foundation of this. How did you transition from just teaching out of your home to opening up a studio?
Yeah, I started in my home because that's the easiest, right?
Sure, absolutely.
They just come to me. I kind of schedule them as I want. It's really simple. I kept a studio, started off with 4 students. I grew it eventually to about 40.
Okay.
And at that point, I realized I need to move somewhere because it just wasn't conducive for kind of home environment and having a studio. So I decided to start looking for a place. And it's hard to figure out where a music studio fits because you don't necessarily fit next to the attorney or insurance guy or doctor's office. You also don't necessarily need a storefront where you get a lot of foot traffic. I don't need retail space. So Old Town was a great fit for us because it's very artsy and they're very kind of open to any kind of people coming down there. And so I just felt like it would be a great fit for us. And so I went into it with another friend who was a piano teacher and just kind of rolled the dice and thought, let's just do it.
Yeah.
You know, signed a year lease and let's just see what happens. And so that was 2 years ago, and we now have 8 teachers there. So
That's
it's
fantastic.
been a great move for me and for all of us. So yeah.
That's cool. And how about you, Josh? Because I know that now you're working with Jenny and their team there. So what's the transition like from working, I think, both in ministry and in corporate to now doing this full time?
It's challenging to say the least. No, but I think it's fun because you can take a lot from things that you've done prior and really implement those certain things that you've learned and put them into the present thing that you're doing. So for me, it's been fun because I focused on coordinating for both jobs in those different areas, and coming into this, it's been fun because it's something that I love. I mean, if you're not passionate about it, then I mean it's not really going to go anywhere. And so being able to put passion as well as like technique and like coordinating and administrative stuff, as when you can put those two things together, I mean the sky's the limit truly. So it's just been a really cool journey just to partner with Jenny and Legacy Music Studio and just see Jenny's dream come to life, to be part of that, and then to see even part of my own dreams kind of come to life with it. It's just been incredible. So.
That's really cool. Well, again, it's that mindset of finding ways to empower and equip.
Yeah.
Right. And I think part of it is due to your ministry or your faith background a little bit as well, because that comes to play in the business.
Absolutely.
Which again, it's not a requirement to work with y'all, of course, but
No.
it's definitely a plus to have people work of integrity and having values.
We say
and
like-minded, kind of on mission together.
Mission. And I think that's what we found within people in our interviews is that what sets us apart from our competition per se, and it's not even labeling competition, it's just having that purpose-driven mindset of finding people to call business partners, and really work alongside for a common good.
Right, for sure.
So what about building a client base? I know that it seems like for both of you too now, it looks like it kind of just comes a little naturally. I mean, is it just word of mouth? Is it marketing?
I mean, you start off slow, and a lot of it has to do with word of mouth for sure. Having just a strong, positive reputation in the community, being involved in the community. I mean, I've got kids at the elementary, middle school, and high school level, so I have friends in all those age brackets, and then also serving at a church. I've been playing piano at our church for 15 years, so just really always just being involved, and then. But social media, a lot of that really helps as well. So, but really word of mouth for sure is what helps us. So,
sure. How about you, Josh? Has been word of mouth?
Yeah, a lot of it is definitely word of mouth, and also it's helpful that Jenny knows a lot of people as well. But no, I think it's word of mouth. It's really having just again that influence, but like really focusing. For me, it's been a lot of social media. So having had a lot of experience just being a millennial, growing up with social media, like being a thing, and just realizing like we have so much opportunity through that to reach out to people that we know or we don't know, and because we did stuff through Facebook and we have our website and stuff like that, but really even now with like Instagram, for example, like it is blowing up right now, and so that's where a lot of people really see a lot of stuff about news or they see their friends on there or whatever. So even tapping into that has been, I know for me, it's been a really, really, really beneficial thing. And then even getting to help Jenny with some social media as well, just getting to focus even more mainly on like Legacy Music Studio social media. It's been fun. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think what y'all have seen within your business is kind of a shift more from, especially as you're opening a studio and bringing more people on, a shift from having that I'm here to help and partner with just you to we're here to help and partner with you. It's a solid team, and I think with the heart of Legacy, you're trying to build a community. And so I even, because I'll say this too, I take lessons at Legacy as well. Josh is my vocal instructor, which is super cool. So it's cool to hang out with the team, right?
Yes.
And the way that you've designed the facility is so that there is engagement with one another.
Right.
Because a lesson shouldn't just be something between a teacher and a pupil, but between a family.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right? Which is super fantastic. So here's another question for you. How about some challenges? Are y'all experiencing some challenges right now with your business?
The first, when you asked, we were talking about challenges, and the first thing that came to mind was our location. And not in terms of it's a bad location, because it's a fantastic location.
Old Town Lewisville, right?
Right. I love Old Town Lewisville. But I taught in my home 15 minutes away from Old Town. So the 40 families I had that I was asking to move to Old Town had to make that move with me. And so where most people like to do everything within 10 minutes of their bubble, I was asking them to move with me over to Old Town. And so that was a big factor in deciding to move over to that area. But I knew that's just where the Lord wanted us, and so we went for it. But with that, we kind of extended our lesson time, so maybe parents had times to run errand or actually, park and go visit some other stores. We kind of kept them at their same rate, so I didn't up them to the newer studio rates. And then we also really strategically planned for the students we grouped them, so there was like a lot of carpool opportunities. Because as a mom, if I can be in a carpool, then that really helps. So that's kind of how we tried to overcome that. But that, for me, has been our biggest obstacle. But now that we've been there 2 years, we get more and more people. They don't have a problem coming to Old Town, and it's a fun place to be.
Because you've established yourself and your name and your brand entity there. So even though there must have been that initial hurdle to get over, obviously, I mean, since this is something that you felt like God was welcoming you into, you've seen the fruits of that obedience.
For sure.
And it's building. It hurt a little bit to have to cut away and to make those changes, but by walking in that obedience, God blessed you over and above with an even bigger family.
Way bigger than I thought possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
What about you, Josh?
I think it's been cool just coming in after the first year of Legacy Music Studio really existing, especially in Old Town Lewisville. I've gotten to see a lot of just the bigger growth that we've kind of encountered. So I think the biggest, obstacle, it's an obstacle, but it's a fun obstacle, would have to definitely be, so we just expanded our space back during Christmas, New Year's, and it was cool to see Jenny really dream and see more of her dream just literally come to fruition and become reality. And so I think that's been the biggest obstacle for all of us. I think it's because one, we had to think about what are we gonna do with this space?
Absolutely.
We went from it was
little,
really tiny,
600 square feet.
Yeah,
it was
600 square feet.
I don't know how. I don't know how.
Yeah, we had one big open room and then a small room, a private practice room. We went from that to now we have, I think it's 6, 7 open spaces and 3 private practice rooms. And now we're kind of what do we do?
And we filled it.
Yeah, we filled it.
I mean,
which is
made the space now.
But even with that,
great.
it's we filled it. But now I think the biggest obstacle for us is with that space. Okay, what else is there? What else do we dream for? What else do we think about? So even so during the summers, just because you have a lot of people traveling, we were okay, how do we bring in people, but how do we make it a fun environment? So we have camps and stuff for whether it's for piano or it's vocals or it's guitar or it's drums, and we'll have stuff where it's focused on for us raising up the next generation of worship leaders, or focusing on pop music, or for kids that are 5 to 6 years old, whatever fits for them. So that's been our biggest obstacle, is dreaming bigger with the space that we now have. That I don't know if we ever thought it would happen the way it did, or if it would. But it is what it is now, and we're enjoying every moment of it.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
it really seems like there was vision, and then y'all actually achieved that. And now you're like, wow, we actually did it.
Yeah.
Now what?
Now what?
Oh yeah.
Always.
Now what? Which
That's
means
always
that you
the
can
question.
just keep on dreaming, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
even seeing whenever we had our open house, and kind of, I love to people watch, so to see Jenny kind of Jenny is the one who started this, so I know I can definitely speak on behalf of the other teachers that are there. We are so grateful for Jenny saying yes to the process and this journey. So when we had our open house and she was seeing people walk in for the first time with this new space, and seeing her eyes just like a kid in a candy store for the first time, oh my gosh, this is a dream come true. Just to see her as overwhelmed and as grateful as she was, it was amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So
it's really cool.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Really quick, I want to honor the Trey group and give a quick shout out to them, because they are our fantastic location sponsor. Awesome. If you're looking to showcase your brand, make sure to check out their Carrollton location, because they got fantastic booths here and a lot of options and a lot of modern cool stuff too. So make sure to check it out. One quick question for y'all. Again, what are 3 things that you can tell our audience members today? Just some takeaways for whether it's growing their business, if they're wanting to do studio stuff like this, or whether just entrepreneurs. What are some things that they can take away today?
I would say, if you're wanting to start a business, one is make sure you're starting a business with something you're passionate about, because you're going to be spending a lot of time with that. So make sure it's something you love to do, you are good at, and you don't mind pursuing and doing. Also have a business plan.
Yeah,
So
that is important.
it is,
Yes,
and
that
that
is
is
important.
for us musicians. That
Yeah.
is not our strength, the
Nope.
business side of it.
Nope.
Like if I could just make music and hang out with people, that would be
Right.
fantastic. But luckily, I have a father that's a CPA, and my
Yeah.
father-in-law is a COO of a company. So they were like, "You need a plan.
Yeah.
You need a budget, financial projections." So I had to think out, what does this look like?
Yeah.
What are my threats, my opportunities, how am I marketing, promotions,
Yeah.
the positives, the weakness, everything.
Absolutely.
All of that business stuff that isn't necessarily the fun part, but you got to know where you might fail in order
Sure.
for you to make sure there's no blind spots, right? So that, and then I would say the third thing is then to really grow your business and be successful is just to surround yourself with amazing people. So like half of your experience in working is who you're working with, right? So like, hey, if you're not gonna have fun with this,
Yeah.
this is probably not the fit for you.
Yeah.
If you're not passionate about teaching other people, if you're not passionate about just developing the next generation of worship leaders, performance artists, if you're not passionate, this isn't gonna work for you. But
Yeah.
if you are, come on, you
Yeah,
know? And so that's
absolutely.
how we were able to grow from 2 of us to 8 of us, you know, in the last year. So
Sure.
that's what I would say.
How about you, Josh? Or did
Everything
she
she
cover?
said. No, she was like, I was like, dang. Okay. No, but like everything Jenny said, but just even like, I think the biggest thing is just coming from like, again, coming in and getting to partner with Jenny
Yeah.
and just this amazing opportunity that we have, which is Legacy Music Studio. I think 2 things for sure is just like the people that you bring in, like, I agree, if they're not passionate about it, like,
Yeah.
it might not be the right fit, but be willing to take a risk with people, I think is definitely one. I think even if they're passionate about it, sometimes it is a risk because you might not know them very well, or you do, and there's certain things that you see that there may be blind spots for them that could hinder, but also could really help benefit just everything if they notice those. So I think just really knowing the people and taking those risks with them, but also don't limit how big you dream.
Yeah.
I think Jenny is a great example of that. Is just knowing that if you're think about how big your dream is right now and dream bigger because it's not big enough. So I think those definitely are the 2 things.
That's fantastic. Well, what a cool inspiration story to see the growth and where y'all are at
it's
now.
exciting.
Because like y'all are awesome people, and I just love to see all the things that y'all are doing. And
Thank you.
so, well, thank y'all for being on the show today. Really
Absolutely.
appreciate your
Thanks for
time.
having us.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
guys. How do they get in contact with you if they want to work with y'all and learn more about your business?
Okay, we have a website, legacymusicstudio.org, and it has a lot of our info. We're also on social media.
Yes, we are Facebook page, social media. No, I'm not social media. That's not what it's called. Legacy Music Studio, as well as our Instagram is Legacy Music Studio Official, because somebody else took that in. So,
Well, there you go.
yes.
Well, appreciate you guys for being on the show today. Always a blessing to have y'all around. So thank y'all.
Absolutely.
Well, and thank you guys as the viewers. Make sure to like and subscribe because we have a new industry influencer every week. So, all right, well, that's it for this one, but we will see y'all next week. Bye, you guys.
Bye, thanks.